Well, this is awkward.
There we go. Good morning. It has warmed up to minus 24 degrees Celsius, which is, I believe, minus 11 degrees Fahrenheit for my American friends. But it is a welcome warm up. Minus 40 is not fun. Anyway, today we're going to look at some stuff from one of Nick's videos. Hey, okay, so I've got my Zentner hat and I'm ready to do some Zentnerding. If that's a thing. So I want to look at the Elena Sizova video. This video right here. I tracked down the paper from where it came from. This paper right here. And look at more specifically what the different colors mean. The paper goes into a little bit more depth of what Nick is using it for, but that's all right. It works for the video. All right, let's get started. All right, so I've got this video on a loop. This is the video that Nick has been showing. Anyway, I've just been kind of fascinated with this video, more so with the colors here. So Nick has his mouse on the screen, but I've also got a mouse right here. There we go. Oh, it gets big. There we go. So the different colors here is what I'm kind of curious about. So we've got this blue, and then the purple, and then the gray, light gray. Then there's this orange stuff, and there's the light blue here where Nick is pointing at right now. And then before everything goes, there's these different shades of green. So there's this light green that's going down, but there is a dark green. So in the Elena Sizova paper, she looks more in depth at all this and explains the different colors and stuff like this. So this animation was made, I think, after the paper, but the paper has a lot more data involved. There we go. So this is the paper right here. You got, see, it's Elena Sizova, but what she's looking at specifically is ultra high pressure rocks, and looking at those ultra high pressure rocks in a slab rollback model versus a slab breakoff model, which is kind of interesting because we have touched on both those. So these are all slab rollback, and it explains
a chronological sequence in alphabetical order. You've got A, B, C, D, E, F, etc.
And this is more slab rollback, and this is slab breakoff. So the video that we were watching seems to come more from this kind of, it must have, and I kind of wonder, is there a video of a slab rollback version of these processes here? And if you look on the side of each one of these things right here, so we got a little section here. So we got the breakoff, and then on the right hand side here we got the pressure temperature graph. And, I don't really want to make this video about that. What I do find super interesting is watching the video and then pausing it and looking at all the different, so these are all kind of spots here. So during the section where it's going down, there's these light blue and dark blue areas, and the dark blue is a serpentinized peridotite, and the light blue is a hydrated peridotite, which I'm not sure what the difference is. I'm super interested in if Jeff Tepper comes on and talks about some of the, I don't know if this is really the series for it. I'm just fascinated by it, so this is why I'm kind of doing this video, because I'm super fascinated by what's going on with all these different things.
Oh yeah, so and then on the left here, on these white arrows,
bring my mouse in here because you can't see anything. Yeah, right here, these arrows going down here, this is showing mantle flow. So as the slab is descending here, it's also dragging the mantle around it, and then this is in the wedge above the plate. That's an area where magma is generated that creates the volcanoes. So I guess the serpentinized peridotite and the hydrated peridotite, they have something to do with the generation of magma in volcanoes. Here's another little snapshot. So they use the term melt-bearing lower continental crust. That's what I believe this red, in a lot of these, this red stuff here is what they're talking about, melt-bearing upper continental crust. Yeah. And then they've got like rhyolitic melts. So it gets really detailed into what is all the different things, what is all the different types of rocks that are happening in there. This is the part that I kind of find the most kind of helpful, just because it tells you what all the different colors are here. You've got the water, which is not in this picture, but on some of the other you can see the water, hydrated basalt and the gabbro. So hydrated basalt, from what I've read in the paper, is specifically talking about pillow basalts, and probably some of the basalt just close to where the water is. The gabbros, like the sheeted dikes, and then the peridotite, the purple one here, is like mantle peridotite. So what would just be normal peridotite that's running in the mantle, and then there's this dark blue stuff which is depleted peridotite.
So this is Editing David, and found out what the difference is between normal peridotite and depleted peridotite. Normal peridotite is rich in basalt-forming elements like calcium, aluminum, sodium, and titanium, and while depleted peridotite is the residue after a partial melting. So so I guess in a spreading center where the basalt is erupting, what is left over, that's the peridotite that is remaining. Okay, continue with the video.
But it's interesting that the depleted peridotite is right below this gray area, and if you look over here, the gray is upper continental crust and lower continental crust. So it's forming below the area where there's continental crust. So perhaps a little bit of cooling going on. And then over to the right here of the peridotite and the depleted peridotite, you have a lighter, like a bright red. And then to the right of the hydrated peridotite and the serpentinized peridotite is this darker kind of red. And then there's other different things that are going on in there, which, yeah, and they talk about these melt-bearing rock types, both in the peridotites being melted, and then also in the continental crusts being melted. So sediments being melted, does that mean that it's being turned into magma, or does that mean that it's being turned into a metamorphic rock? I mean, then it also has these melt-bearing rocks turning into rhyolite. So perhaps that means that it's these are actually fully being melted and becoming magma that becomes rhyolitic lava. Anyway, actually one more thing, and I will put all these in the description down below where I found these. So I believe this is from a presentation. It contains a lot of the figures that are in the paper, and then a few extra ones like these ones up here. These are not in the paper there. I love this one because this one is in the paper. And then all these ones are from the paper. So this is experiments with slab rollback, crustal markers in the experiment with slab rollback, and then the pressure temperature parameters. Anyway, this is a great little, it's got all the diagrams in there, and they're in such a format that you can actually zoom in, because I know when I was zooming in with some of the stuff that was just like video format, you end up losing a lot of the detail. So I really like these. I don't know what format that is, but anyway, and there's some references. So this is a really great one, because I just love this. Okay, so there's the light blue that's popping in, and the dark blue. And then on this one, you can see there's the ocean. And then there's orange, which is going on here. So it's interesting that this green goes all the way down there. And then I guess some of it comes back up. I'm fighting here with Nick. Okay, so we started off with the dark green and the light green, and it's going down, it's subducting. Boom, there we go. Oh, I'm gonna pause that. Right there, like, it just, this light blue just kind of came out of nowhere. And then you get, so that's, oh, sugar, what type of predatite is that? Okay, and then also there's a bit more of this stuff, or this is a new thing that's kind of going up here. Then we have the, okay, so yeah, we've got the water here and the water here. Now the other thing to note here is that this is continental versus continental. So this is a continent-continent collision. So it's interesting that there's water happening here, and I guess this has to do with like the basins. I'm gonna back this up. Oops, how did I do this? I'll just let it play. So watch how fast the light bloop there. Boom, there, it just pops up right there. And then when the final continental collision comes in, it just turns into this mess. I got Nick muted here, so I don't know what he's actually saying, but just, oh, it's just like putty. Okay, so we got the gabbro and pillow lava going down. Then we also have that red rock. Okay, where does the light blue pop in? Boom, right there. 7 million years. 6.5, I think.